All right, what's going on, guys? Trev back again, here to bring you another video. This one's going to be doing my review now for the fourth episode of The Walking Dead Season 9, The Obliged. Oh man, and if you guys didn't see it, I did my reaction video earlier, giving you guys my first reaction after just seeing the end of the episode, literally within 5 minutes of the episode airing. So that's in the channel. I'll have it in the end screen videos for you guys here. We're going to try, right? We're going to try to do a review, even though we just saw what guaranteed has to be, you know, the craziest scene in all The Walking Dead, or at least one of the craziest scenes in all The Walking Dead. I mean, Glenn, it's hard to surpass Glenn Abraham smash head Lucille, but if anything could take a stab at it, it certainly is this episode with the Rebar. So watching this episode through, this is hard to do, man, because I'm just so messed up. I mean, we knew it was coming. We knew it was going to happen. But I'm really messed up tonight, man, after seeing this episode and knowing that we have literally 1 week left of The Walking Dead, and Rick is a goner. Rick is gone. So, this is crazy stuff to see. I don't think anything could have prepared us for this, but it's happening. This is what it is. Okay, review, right? Let's keep it together as we try to do a review of the episode. It actually was, I think, the best episode of this season so far. I mean, obviously the ending scene, was unbelievable. It was jaw-dropping. It was shocking. It was crazy to see. It was just the craziest scene. As all the zombies are walking in, Rick is just laying there. It was brutal, right? It was brutal. It was savage. It was, all those whatever adjectives you can fucking think of to describe that final scene. It was, man. It was fucking crazy. So I'm losing it, right? Trev swearing. He doesn't usually swear, right? He's going full on Tregan, right? So it was one of the best episodes. I mean, you could put this right up there with. This is some of the best The Walking Dead has ever been. You guys know this season. I didn't like the second episode so much going in, but certainly at this point, I think we all have to agree this is some of the best that The Walking Dead has ever been, or at least it's some of the episodes that you absolutely can't miss. You got to watch these episodes, right? If you like The Walking Dead, if you like the series, if you watched it before, if you've seen every episode or you haven't, whatever the case may be, you cannot miss these episodes. These are unbelievable, crazy to see episodes. And aside from the Rick stuff at the end, which was just unbelievable, the stuff between Daryl and Rick I found was just insane as well too. When Rick, okay, so Jesus rats out Maggie, right? He rats her out, and Jerry delivers the message, but it's cryptic, so Jerry doesn't know what's going on. Jerry's like, kind of, but no, not really. Tells Rick what's up. And that Maggie's going for it, right? So Rick knows. He's like, right now? Are you serious? Right? Oh, shit. She's going for it? She's going for it. Okay, we got to go. And Daryl's like, oh, yeah. Hey, I'll take you. Come on. It'll be faster, right? So they go off. And it's like he drives by. And as soon as he drives by, I was like, oh, no. Oh, my God. This is like Rick Shane 2.0. As they get to it, they start fighting. And then they roll and they fall into the pit. I was just like, oh my God. And then, it kind of goes through, of course, because Daryl and Rick are not in agreement as to what to do with the Saviors now, right? Daryl, maybe, I don't know. And again, this is not a new thing, right? This was set up last year at the end of last season. I didn't think they would expand out as much as they have, but I'm glad they did because I think it's amazing. They bring up, some of those important characters throughout the show that might be gone but are not forgotten. You have mentions of Glenn and that, is it right, as Daryl's perspective and Maggie's as well too, is it right to allow Negan to live after what he did to Glenn, what he did to Abraham? But especially Glenn, because Glenn was so instrumental to the group, and Daryl brings up that, and again, this stuff's going in perfectly with what we're probably going to see in next week's episode, because in next week's episode, we're going to see probably, Rick, he's being chased. He's hallucinating like crazy. He's seeing all these things throughout the series. He's getting flashbacks of him, when he first, beginning of the show, when he first found Carl, when he first found Lori and everybody else and the group, and Daryl and Carol. And, Daryl brings up, which is a really good point. It's hard to kind of go over that without Glenn, he would have never even found them, right? Glenn was the one who hey, dumbass, Cozy in there, who's the one who took him out of there. Glenn's the one who brought him to find the others. And so I thought that was a really amazing line for Daryl to bring up. There's mentions of Carl, and you really get both perspectives here, that Rick wants to be the good guy here, and that he doesn't want Carl's death to be for nothing, and that Carl's death has to mean something, and so they have to create that future. And again, this goes back even to the stuff they set up last year, which is so masterfully done, I want to say, when you really think about it. Carl passed on in his death. What meant something from Carl's death is that he passed on a vision of the future and a vision of what people can be. And as Tyrese, right, would say, is humanitarianism, right? If you guys ever seen the drunk rant video of him on, I think it was a bus or something after the Walking Dead. So anyway, I just broke the fourth wall. But that kind of idea of a heaven in the zombie apocalypse, that they could create something that would be beautiful and would be, everything would be great and would be amazing, and people could forgive each other and things would go forward. And of course, Daryl's trying to tell him, and Maggie's going for it, that, bro, that ain't gonna happen. That's not reality. That I understand that you've got these these feelings right now, and you want to make Carl proud and everything like that, and you can't allow his death to be for nothing. So Negan can't become this martyr that restarts the whole war all over again with the saviors. But pretty much that's happening anyway, as they're in this pit, and you just have all these different things in this episode coming at the same time. It's just kicking your ass, right? At one moment you got this, and Daryl and Rick, and then there's zombies coming down, and then at the same time you got that. You got Maggie, and she's going over to Alexandria. You got Carol, and she's getting attacked by the freaking saviors. You got all this crap going on. In the meantime, Michonne's having a conversation with Negan, and everything is just, getting ready to just explode everywhere. We got red for a reason. So it's an amazing episode, right? It's not just that, this stuff is happening with Rick, and that's the whole episode, right? Because we've had episodes like that in the past before. Now, next week's episode 5, rightfully so, will probably be a Rick focus episode entirely, pretty much. And then maybe at the end we'll see some of the others come in the current timeline. But probably the whole episode next week, I'm assuming or thinking, will be just a micro episode for Rick and his time in the show, and just a nostalgic, amazing episode that, from the looks of things, may, set it in as like, this is like the best show ever. You know what I mean? It's not what we wanted. We didn't want to see Rick be killed off. That's not what we want. We want to see Rick continue and everything like that go forward. But if it's going to happen at some point, if it has to happen now, we do have to wake up and realize we're in the 9th year. We're in the 9th season of the show. It's not like this is very premature and it's season 4 or season 5. It is 9 full years. It's pretty much a decade. So if this has to happen at some point and they're going to do it now, at least they can do it in a way where it's done so masterfully that it's worthy enough to be part of The Walking Dead, and it isn't just some haphazard death that doesn't mean anything. Maybe something similar to the episode with Tyrese there back in season 5, in the second half of season 5, where you have the governor come back, you have these different characters come back. So that's what I'm looking for episode 5, and we'll get more into that in our predictions video, which we'll do right after this one, leading up to that episode, because that promo for next week's episode looks mind-blowing. I want to watch it again because I've only seen it once so far. Watch it a few times and go through it with you guys, but man, all this stuff going on, just coming up to a boiling point at the end of this episode, and it's just like, I am glued, man. I can't wait. I wish I could hit fast forward on life to next week to see, that episode 5 and see what's going to happen. But aside from the Rick stuff, we also had really good stuff with Michonne. You guys know I love the Negan stuff, right? She's having conversations with Negan. Negan's on a hunger strike, right? He's refusing to eat until she talks to him. And what really wants to know. I think he's doing the whole thing because he really wants to know how his baby Lucille is doing, right? He wants to know where she is, and she's basically out there, right? She's not being taken care of. No one's taking care of Lucille, and Negan is crushed by it. And he starts headbutting the cement wall because he's like, no, how could you just leave her out there? How could you just leave her, right? And oh man, you guys know I love it, right? You're probably sitting there watching the show thinking Trev's gonna love this. It's it's a no-brainer, right? So I loved all the stuff with Michonne and Negan. It was amazing. Just to know that Maggie's almost there. She's coming, and what is Michonne going to do when she arrives? She's probably not going to get the heads up because you got the Oceanside girl, I don't even care what her name, whatever her damn name was on the radio. It's like, oh yeah, I'll get right on that. Click. You know what I mean? It's like Rick is being set up here and everyone's in the know, but Rick's not in the know. It's one of those type of things where he's like, what the hell's going on? Even Daryl tells him the Oceanside are the ones that have been killing the Saviors, and he knew. And Daryl and Rick's like, you didn't tell me? What the shit, right? We get some good stuff with Michonne here in the montages, which is discussed with her and Negan as he calls her a warrior, saying that she's not meant to be in there. And I love that too, that it's kind of revealed that she's been getting up each night when she can't sleep and going out on her own to kill zombies so she can feel probably more relaxed, and then maybe she can go back and sleep for a few hours or something. But she can't just go to sleep and have Rick there and have everything be cool. She's got to go out there and just hack up a few zombies as Maggie sees them, afterwards, that she's been kind of a little bit of her busy work, just kind of going out and doing what she does because that's what she does, right? It's like a function. It's like a hammer and just going out looking for those nails so you can just, you just hit those nails in, right? So I love that as well too. Brings up questions of Andre, so Michonne's son. So could we see, something to do with that in the future? IMDb speculation. I don't know. We won't get into spoilers too much here, but could we see one of Michonne's sons, if TV series version are sons, maybe in some way return? Maybe she stumbles across him or something later on this year. That could be really great stuff to see. I would love to see that. Negan knows what to say just to get at people, right? He's talking about her kids. He's talking about Carl, that he never, he never had a chance to do that. Reveals that his wife was killed in the TV series version by cancer, which is the same as a comic, which is, it's cool. It's always good to get confirmation that, the characters in the TV series version are very similar to Here's Negan or the storyline in the comics. And we get a really sad scene between Carol and Rick, where Andrew Lincoln is kind of crying in the scene, which is a little bit, I almost want to say, out of character for the situation. Well, he can be upset that the bridge is not going to work and that they have to basically abandon ship. But he's kind of crying stuff, and it's like, oh man, is this Carol and Rick's last scene together? And it's like, you watch it through a couple times there, you're like, because this was released kind of earlier in sneak peeks and such, and I'm just watching it through, I'm thinking like, this is probably their last scene, and that is hella sad. That is super sad, man, for sure. You got Rick crying there, and then we got the stuff getting started with Maggie. At least I like this, that Daryl and Maggie, as I said in my reaction video, are not directly responsible for what's happened with Rick here. They didn't know he was going to try to be the hero still and kind of make, I would say, what is probably a bad decision. But the thing about it is that, he's the leader of the groups. He's trying to keep everything together, and he's taking everybody under his wing, and he's putting himself right out there, getting on that horse to do absolutely everything he can to save the lives of the others, whatever he has to do, even if he has to sacrifice himself in the midst of it. And that, when you look at that, if he is to die in episode 5, that he will die trying to create that future that they always wanted to have, right? To create that present that he had set out to do after All Out War, and that they always wanted to create all throughout the series. So basically, his death in some ways may be a sacrifice here to create the kind of life that he wants for Judith, that he would have wanted for Carl, and all of the others that are under his wing as a leader in the community. So, in addition to all that amazing stuff, I mean, we got the scenes with Carol and the Saviors doubling back to go after the Oceanside people, because they've even figured out at this point that the Oceanside ones are the ones who are doing this. So they're coming back. with Jed, led by Jed, and Carol's they're kind of getting it a little bit. You can hear the gunfire go off. You see all the zombies coming through. The herds are being pulled back by it. Rick's getting out there trying to lead them away, but it's obviously not working right now. So, oh my God, man, this is just insane, right? So, I like the scene between Negan and Michonne, where Negan says that we're the same, and basically they've just ended up in different places. This can be expanded upon a lot with regards to human beings and whether or not you view certain human beings as having the potential for evil and others not, or if you view it as anybody given the right circumstances could be. This is kind of embracing the shadow Jungian concept, but that anybody could be capable of evil and anybody could be capable of horrendous things given the right set of circumstances to create that. And so that's obviously Negan's perspective, that anybody could become a Negan, and Michonne's is that no, that's not true, and that you can, and everybody feels these tendencies to do things, but good people don't, and evil people do, right? Get into this kind of stuff that Negan was doing before, and even in some cases taking pleasure in it because he was kind of messed up, right? So, oh man, I mean, is that good for a recap, guys? What do you think? Is that good? I mean, it's hard to recap all the stuff in this episode. Oh, right, the Gabriel and Jada stuff. So she leaves, and, she's the one we're holding out hope for. Call it in, right? Jada stumbles across Rick, gets him to the junkyard somehow losing the zombie herd, and then calls it in, right? Rick's been, Rick needs help, right? Calling the helicopter. So, episode 5, man, how's it going to end up? Are we going to see the definitive death of Rick, the ultimate, demise? The lights go out in Georgia. Are we going to see that? Or are we going to see, Anne come in there and, somehow, call it in and see if maybe they've got a hospital or something, they can help him, they can do something with him, and then maybe he could return later on. We'll see. Either way, this is some of the most craziest, most exciting, unbelievable stuff that I've ever seen in a TV series, not just in The Walking Dead. And I think for all those reasons, I have to give this episode a 10, a perfect 10 out of 10. Or if you're hating this direction, you could give it a 0. I'm just sitting here thinking to myself, no matter what way they got to do this, however this is going to go for Rick, maybe what they've chosen to do and what we are seeing is about as good as you could probably do it. Getting to see some of that nostalgic stuff next week. We'll go into it more in the predictions, but I love the Obliged. I'm messed up from it. I'm still still trying to, process all this information and just see what we can do with this. But let me know how you guys felt about the episode. I think it's one of the best The Walking Dead has ever had. Daryl versus Rick, the whole thing. Mentions of Glenn, mentions of Carl, philosophies clashing, and Negan being crazy old Negan as per usual. Maggie on a assassination mission, and she's ready. But I'm not ready. I'm still not ready for all this shit. So let me know what you guys think. Leave your comments below. If you like this video, like the video. Help me out, guys. Let me know how you're feeling. Questions for this week. Leave the questions, man. We'll be back for the predictions for episode 5. Rick's final episode in The Walking Dead. Yes, you heard it right. Rick's final episode next week. So, oh my God. OMFG, no, whatever, however you guys feel, leave the comments, let me know. Amazing episode. Still, got to give it credit for, not still. Amazing episode. Got to give it credit for what it is, right? And wow, I'm completely flabbergasted by this episode. I need some comfort, right? I need some Negan coming in my Lucille next video, right? Gotta get Juicille going, right? So like the video, share, favorite, subscribe if you're new. That's it for this one. See you guys again soon. Another half an hour for predictions video. Trev saying peace. Later, guys. See you soon.